Okay, let's get going, folks. So, good evening, good morning, good day from all the places that you joined. So we have Vaibhav today who will be taking us through agent development kit, but definitely we're going to be doing things that are looking at certain kinds of patterns which help you manage and orchestrate agents together to achieve some kind of a goal, and we'll be doing that via code lab today. So first up, thanks Vaibhav for taking the time preparing the material and guiding us through the code lab. And for folks, just a few ground rules is Vaibhav will conduct the lab in a way that you would like to. As you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Any of us can also pop in and try to answer the questions. And if time permits, Weber might take a few common questions towards the end. But feel free to put your things in the chat. As far as the credits are concerned, if you had signed up with your personal Gmail account and we've already added you to the allow list, and you should be able to claim the credits as per the instructions we had given. I already see more than 70, 80 of you have, claimed it. So we should be all set there. Even if you don't have credits claimed right now, please be, I think assured that you can reach me even post the event. I'll ensure that you're there in the allow list. The code lab is anyway public. We'll make the recording also available. So should you want to do that later on at your own pace, that's perfectly fine too. So given that, thanks for joining, and Vaibhav, thank you once again. Completely over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Roman. Hello everyone. So we'll start with a small presentation. It just has like 4 to 5 slides, just to understand what are we even going to do today and what are we going to achieve. So I'll start with a small introduction. My name is Vaibhav. I'm a GD for GCP and a technical lead at a company called Insido. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. So what are we going to do today, right? Basically, there are 2 agents that we'll build. The first will be a hierarchical agent, which is very simple, right? It has a root agent at the top, and depending upon what the user says, it will evaluate the user intent and eventually decide on itself. Of course, I will show you how it decides, like all the instructions. Depending on that, it will choose if you have to go to the travel brainstormer or it has to go to the action planner. Let's say you have already decided where you want to travel. Let's say you say, I want to visit Japan. It will know, okay, since the person has already decided to go to Japan, let's plan the attractions there. So that is how the agent will understand. We'll look more into it. The second thing that we'll learn today is what is the shared memory or the session state. So we want the agents to talk to each other, like we have multi-agents, but we need a space where the agents can have a common place where they'll understand, okay, this is some data which earlier agent has created and stored for me. I can utilize this now. So this is what we call as a session state. I'll exactly show where you can see this in the ADK and how do we set that up. So we'll look at those as well. The second type of agent will be a virtual movie studio, wherein we'll eventually come up with how a movie is planned, what is the box office processing or a pre-production processing that goes into it, and how we can leverage different types of agent loops or different types of patterns, workflow patterns that will eventually help us, right? So essentially, we'll look at 3 in this, which is sequential, loop, and parallel. The first being sequential, which will be very simple. You ask to write a simple script or a movie script. It will write it. Will have a screenwriter agent. It will just write it to the file. So technically, these are 3 different agents, but they are all a sequential agent. Then we'll have something called as a refinement or a loop agent, right? Wherein there is one agent which writes the screen. Then there is a critic which reviews, gives feedback. The screenwriter will again write it. The critic will again give feedback. And let's say this keeps on going. We'll still have a max iteration 5, wherein we want to stop after some iterations. And this is how the whatever the movie script it is building, it will keep on improving, and we'll be able to see it live how it is improving by each iteration. And the third one will be a parallel agent. So let's say we have a plot outline. So whatever was done here, that becomes a plot outline. And then we have two separate agents. Let's say whatever we have built will search for like box office research, where it will do the analysis of how well it can perform this type of script, how well it can perform. And we'll also have a casting agent. Now, if you think about it, these both things can be done in parallel, right? Because a box office research has nothing to do with who are you casting. So this is what can be done parallelly, and eventually we'll have that stored in the session state. And this is how it will look overall. We have a writer's room where we'll have a loop agent. Then we have a parallel agent which does this, and eventually a file letter which just writes to the file. That's it. So this is what we'll learn today. To get started, even before we go to code labs, please scan this QR code. I will also put this URL in chat to make it easy. Uh, okay, good. Yeah. So please visit this URL. Let me know if it is accessible to you. Eventually, you should come to something like this. Okay, I can see a lot of folks are here. I'll maybe wait till we come to, okay, yeah, 73. I'll wait till 50. Okay. So I'll request everyone to join this or come to this Google Docs so that we'll have much better understanding of things we'll require while doing the code lab, right? The first thing is, if you don't know where to log in, you'll have to go to console.cloud.google.com. So if you click on this, you will be launch or coming to this kind of a page. So, yeah. So something of this sort you will be able to see. I will be using Build with AI today. Okay. And GCP credits, as Romin mentioned, it will be already taken care for you. So you should have the credits. Now, the first thing that you need before even we start with the code lab is the project ID. How do you get your project ID? A lot of you might be knowing it, but for the folks who don't know, all you need to do is click on this at the top. You will see something of this sort, right? Click on this open project. You will see the name, the type, and the ID. This is the ID which is important, and keep it somewhere safe. Let's say in a notepad or somewhere else, because we might use it more often than not. Uh, yeah. So this is the step that is mentioned here. So keep the project ID with you. I'll wait for maybe a minute. Please make sure to use the project ID and not the project name. They both are different. And please don't use this project ID. It will not work. You will have to log into console.cloud.google.com. Click on the open project picker and then choose this ID. Okay, I hope everyone now has the project ID. The second thing that we need to do is to set up the cloud shell, right? So when you come here on this page, so you should see something called as activate cloud shell, right here at the top. Click on it and something like this should open up. It might take a minute or two to open. Okay, In my case, of course, this is faster because I have opened it a lot of times. In your case, it will be a bit slower if you have not opened it. I'll repeat. Once you come to console.cloud.google.com, on the top right corner, you will see this arrow kind of thing. Click on this and this terminal should open up. It might also ask you for authorize. Just go ahead and click on authorize. And once you have something of this sort, click on open editor. This will open a VS Code like editor on your cloud console. Should look something like this. Of course, you will not have these many things on your left hand side. Are we good till here? Maybe you can put a thumbs up. Okay. Take a lot of food. Somebody has raised, yeah, SSR laptop. We wanted to say something. Is there anything there? I'll assume that okay, it happened by mistake. No problem. So yeah, I'll assume till now we have the project ID and you also have opened the Cloud Shell Editor, which is like a VS Code in your cloud, right? Till here we have done everything. Now we have to open the terminal. I've already mentioned the part how to open terminal, but I'll show you as well. You will see this three dots, or you might also see directly terminal. You click go to terminal and you say new terminal, and this terminal should open up. Once you have that, there are just two commands that you have to run. Make sure to update your project ID with whatever project ID we had copied earlier here. So in case personal test 392707, please update that here. Of course, not you will not be able to update here, but copy this somewhere and make sure to edit this to your own project ID, and also this one. Just run these two commands in the terminal. So let's say, let me also run. So this. Wait. Now I have set my project to this one, and the second command is just to enable the API that we are going to use, or services that we are going to use for this code line. You just copy and paste it. That's it. How many are done with this one? Okay. So I'll assume that we have done this step. You can go ahead and click on this. It will open up a link to this multi-agent system code line, and in this case, we'll start directly from the step 6 because all the things above we have already covered. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is git clone a repository, which is on the official Google Cloud Platform GitHub profile. I'll also do it with you, but I already have done it, so I'll delete that first. Please don't follow these commands. Okay. So I've done git clone. It's quite big. No, so if you notice, we are only doing depth one, right? So it will only fetch the latest commit. So it's fairly faster, which is also mentioned here. Yeah, see, it's done. And since this is console, like cloud console, it will be faster. Okay. Once we are done with this, the second thing that you need to do is, it has a lot of other things as well, which we don't need. We only need one specific thing, which is the ADK multi-agent system. So all we need to do is move everything from this DevRel demos outside to the home folder, right? So I'll then do this command. If you see, I should see a ADK multi-agent system folder on my left-hand side. I'll repeat. We do git clone of this one, and then we move the one specific folder, which is the ADK multi-agent system, outside to home level, right? Once we have that, we can just cd to our newly created folder, right? This one. In your case, you will not see all this. You might just see ADK multi-agent and DevRel demos. Okay. Are we done with till here? Can you put thumbs up? Okay. A lot of them have done. Okay. Next thing we need to do is open this folder. You just go to file, you select open folder, and then you have, in my case, I have Vaibhav Malpani. In your case, it will be whatever your email is. And then you choose the folder, right? ADK multi-agent system. This is the folder that we have. And just do OK. So instead of showing up all the folders, it will specifically just show the folder that we just get put. And it should look something like this, right? At the left-hand side, we should only have parent and sub-agent, workflow agent, and the requirement.txt call log. Okay, as mentioned here as well. All good till here? Sure, I'll move ahead then. Now, once we have this, you need to activate a virtual environment. There are just two steps. You do UV VNV, and then you activate that VNV. So I'll just go ahead with that commands now. Make sure you're inside the ADK multi-agent system. And okay, so it is created. The next thing that you do is source.vnv bin activate. And you should see something like this, which tells us that our virtual environment is now active. Yeah, so Cloud Shell is like, free VM that Google Cloud provides us things for us to experiment, right? Yeah, once we have that, okay, just one thing that you should, keep in mind. Let's say for some reason you end up closing this terminal or maybe closing the browser. Once you come back to the terminal, if you don't see this ADK multi-agent system here, make sure to do source VNV bin activate again, so that you activate the virtual environment. Okay, So I I think that a lot of people would know pip install. So this is what we do to install all the requirements, uh, which I will run now, and it should install all the requirements. Yeah, so it has done that. All good till here? Okay. Now what we need to do is set up the environment. So as you can see, there are no environment files that are here. So this is a virtual environment. So we need a .env file that we will give to the agent so that agent would be able to understand what model to use, where to use from, what XAR, which project, all those things. So all you need to do is to cloud shell edit.env. You could also choose to just create a new file here, but we'll go with this one. All it does is just creates a new file called .env here. And once you have that, you can click on this copy code sample, paste it here, and update your project ID. That's all. So in my case, it was built with AI2, and that's it. I'll wait for a minute also. Of course, you don't need to do this step. We have already got the project ID at the start, right? Which you have kept somewhere in the notepad. So once you have the env, we just need to copy that env into specific folders like parent and subagent and workflow agent. So you can just go ahead and copy this command and run it. So you should see that the env is now created inside the parent and subagent and the workflow agent. Right? And it's exactly same. We have just copy pasted it. Okay. I think we are done with the step 6. Uh, how many of you are done with step 6? Please give a thumbs up. If anybody is stuck, please reach out. Okay. I'll move to the step 7. You can see on the left hand side, right? You can click on the step 7. And here we'll now actually see what is the parent and the first folder that we have, right? Parent and subagents. We'll look into this one for this, right? So let's open the code first. If you see, it's just one init file, .env file, which we just created, and an agent.py file. Let me take this. Let me zoom. Okay. So if you look at the whole code, it's just a bunch of imports at the top. There are a few things which we are going to add soon, and then you have something called as action planner agent. You have a brainstormer agent, and then you have a root agent, which technically just the steering of uh, which agent should it pass the next thing to it. So that is what the root agent does, and that's it. That's the whole code if you look at it. But there are few things that are missing here. That is something we'll do to it, right? So if you notice here, it has not the steering agent doesn't till now know about the brainstormer agent or the action planner agent because we have not added a sub agent here. So what we will do, just copy this line called sub agents equal to and paste it here where it says add sub agent parameter. So we'll add it here. Now our root agent knows, okay, there are two sub agents that I can delegate my task to, which is the tribal brainstormer and the attraction plan. Right. Okay, so let's say you have done this sub agent. Now what we do is start the agent, right? You go to terminal, you do cd. If you have already done, you don't need to do that, and you just do ADK run, and you mention the specific agent's name. So this is the folder where in which the agent we are that we want to use. So we'll just do ADK run parent and sub agent. It might take like 10-15 seconds to start. Yeah, it might give you some warnings, but you can ignore that. Yeah. So if you see this user, right, this is what our session has now started with the ADK agent, and here we can, let's say, put hello. So it say hello. Are you planning for a trip? If you notice, steering was the one who first admitted, like, talk to us, because that's the main root agent. Now, if you want to say yes, I would. So depending on this, we have not stated where exactly we want to go, right? So the travel brainstormer should come back, yeah, like it did, right? So travel brainstormer, okay, you can go for New Zealand, Costa Rica, Nepal, Peru, Canada, all those things. So this is how it works, but we can make it even better, right? So if you scroll down, so this is something we have done. Right? If you scroll down, you would see, let's be more explicit in the agent.py, or when to use what. As of now, the agent instructions do not have this specific commands, right? When to use the travel brainstormer, when to use the attraction plan. So what we'll do is we'll just copy this, and we'll go back to the instructions file, and here it mentions add the following routines, right? So we'll not replace anything, we'll add it over here. So if they need help deciding something for travel brainstormer, if they know what country they like to visit, send them to attraction plan, right? So let me close this. Of course, you can do Control C twice, or you can just write exit and it will exit. And now let's run this again. And let's say I say I want. Could we use the same in Japan? Let's say I put India. So now it knows that I've already decided to go to India. So it will directly jump onto the action plan, since I've already decided which country I want to visit, like mentioned here. Let's see what it does. By the way, is this readable? Yes. Yeah. Should have actually. Okay. So first, it will always go to steering. Right? Back to travel. Ideally, I should have started with just a hello instead of just jumping to plan. Let's see what it does it now. Because the first control will go to the root agent, and now the root agent decides, which planner or which agent to next transfer to. Attraction, very interesting. Okay, so it's still not understood that. Let's say I put cultural. So it's trying to make sure, the attractions that it gives us should be what we want. What specifically? Tell me something. Let's start this over. Yeah, now it has gone to attraction planet. Like, I don't know what happened the last time. Maybe I didn't save this. Uh, okay, for example, historical sites. Let's say I say historical sites. Yeah, so it has, given me Taj Mahal, Red Fort, Hampi, Ajanta, caves, all these things. Okay? So this is how it will work. If we directly, specifically ask, that I have decided to go to Japan, now it doesn't need for us to, have the travel brainstormer talk to us, where should we go, what kind of adventure are we thinking, something of that sort. It will directly get us to attraction plan. And if you want to see how that, if we can grow from one agent to other, we'll also look at that. I hope, by the way, this is working for everyone else. Yeah.
Vaibhav, you
So
could
let's.
probably just go through the source code once more. Just show where we are right now in terms of the agent.
Okay. So what we have done till now is we are on the step 7. We have just updated the sub agents here in the code, which was here. This is something that we have updated. And after that, code level wise, we have just copied this and updated the instruction just above the sub agents. We have just added these two things. That's it. And let's see how this works, end to end. Some questions. IT engineer saving the question. Yeah. So let's say I want. So it will now go to, let's say, travel brainstorming. That's given me trekking, water sport, New Zealand. Let's say I say I'll not select any one of those. Let's say I say I want Dubai. And if you noticed, it first went to the travel brainstorm. But now that we have decided Dubai, yeah, it has gone to the attraction planner, and it has given me a lot of things like safari, skydiving, since I mentioned adventure, indoor skiing, all those things that you can do in Dubai, which is adventurous. So this is how you can use the uh, hierarchical way of these features. Uh, I hope we are clear till this one, right? And we also have a recap if you would like. Are we good to move to the next step? Please give us something. If you are getting this resource exhausted, you'll have to wait maybe a minute or two. That is one case. If the other case would be the credits are not correctly applied. These are the only two things that could happen if you get this resource exhausted. Uh, are we good to go to the next step, or is anyone stuck? Okay. So, We'll go to the step number 8. Here, what we are going to do or understand is how this session state works, right? So, a bunch of things that we'll have to copy paste first. The first is this tool, uh, which is save attraction to state. We'll copy this. If you look at the code, it's not that complex. It's just, tool context of set the attractions. We are getting whatever the previous attractions are, and we are just, existing attraction plus the new attraction. How we will get this new attraction, we'll show you as we go ahead. So just copy this code block and come to your code. At the top, you will see something called as hashtag tools, right? So here you just do the paste, right? Once you have done that, you will have to add this tool, right? So how would the agent know which tool to use, right? So to the attractions planner agent, we will give this specific tool, which is the save attraction to state. So once you have that, come to the attraction planner agent, and where you see, right, when instructed to do so, paste the tool parameter. So we will paste the tools here, right? So now attraction planner agent knows that there is a tool called as save attraction to state, and save attraction actually saves whatever the attraction we are choosing. Okay, so that's it. And yeah, we'll also have to update the instructions so that the attraction planner agent know that when to use that tool or what to do with that tool. So uh, as it also mentions, right, add the following bullet points. So we'll not update it, we add over it. So we'll come to attraction planner. Currently there is only one point. We'll copy and paste it over here. So eventually your attractions planner instruction should have three files or three lines. Provide them with the attraction when the selected country, reply them with the possibilities, and if they ask to view the list, provide a list of bulleted list of attractions. If you notice, this is how we put the variables, right? In bracket, we put attraction. But uh, do you know why this question mark is? This is the case if, let's say, the attractions is empty, it should not fail. And that's why we have something called as question mark. So if the attraction is are empty, it will just return none or empty array. But if there are something, it will get that attractions value and send it. That's about it. Yeah, I think we have done this. I'll repeat again. You have to copy this tool, paste it in the tools where it mentions, right, tools. You paste it over here. So you now have a new function, which is save attraction to state. Now this tool, you will have to mention it to the agent planner. So you copy this line, you scroll down, you will see attractions planner. You give the tool to the attractions planner, and you update the instructions for attraction planner to let them know how to use this new tool or when to do what kind of thing. Okay, I'll assume that everybody has done till here. Okay, now we'll do ADK web. So currently what we did earlier was ADK run, right, wherein we were talking to the agent via this console or terminal, right? We'll now see the UI way of looking at it. So we'll do ADK web. Make sure you're on the ADK multi-agent system folder. You have this ADK virtual environment set up, and then you do ADK web. Yeah, so you will see this ADK web has started. But if you click on this, it will not open, right? Because it is not running on your local host. What you'll need to do is, okay, it actually took it. Wow. If this doesn't work, by the way, ideally what you should have been doing is you go to web preview, you do change code, and you do 8,000 over here. And then you do change and preview, which ideally should come to this. Everybody on this ADK web UI. Okay. Yeah, correctly mentioned. You can do it on your local as well. Okay, so we'll not even look at the terminal now for now. We'll go to the ADK web UI, right? This UI is very simple. On the left hand side, you will see two agents. For now, we'll only choose the parents and the sub agent because that's what we are working with, right? And workflow agent, right? So we'll choose this one. And we have a question that we can ask, right? So ideally, it's also mentioned change portal. So it says, I'd like to go to agent. Let's stick with our original, uh, like we were going to Dubai, right? So let's stick with that. So let's say I first go with hello. So if you see, it is the steering agent that has greeted us. So where would you like to travel? I would, uh, so it's still the steering agent. Yeah. Now if you see things like transfer to agent, if you click on this, you will see that it has transferred to the attraction planner agent, right? And the attraction planner agent, if you hover over it, you'll see attractions planner has come with, you can go to Burj Khalifa, Dubai Mall. So what sounds interesting? Let's say I first say I want to go to Burj Khalifa. Um, it might come with more. Great choice. Let's say I also say I want to go to Dubai Frame. Okay. And let's say I go Dubai Parks or the Museum of the Future, let's say. Right? So if you see attractions, we are only speaking with the attraction planner as well. And let's say I say what are the places that I have visited. So basically, I'm asking, what are the things that you have saved? For some reason, it has done it twice. So in the state, by the way, on the left hand side, you should see something called as state. This is what, this is where we have saved. I don't know why it saved twice. It worked fine before. Uh, but yeah, in any case, whatever is going to, whatever you're going to put here, uh, will be saved in the state here, and you can use that state wherever required. So let's say I now put, I also, so even that should be added here. Yeah, you see, this is a very got added. There is some issue, it is getting added multiple times. Is it the case for you all as well? It also proves that you're doing a live demo. What could go wrong? Yeah, I mean, I tried everything just before this workshop today. Yeah. By the way, is everyone able to do this? Are you guys able to see the state? Okay, few of them are. Yeah, we could do this. This will make sure it will not be repeated. I mean, it was not repeating. I'm sure if I just turn it off and on again, it will work fine. Let me see just for it. Yeah, now it's showing just for this. Yeah, now it's showing just one. Let me add the- when I ask what of places do I plan to go, it should come with this, yeah, like it mentioned, and specifically what more I could add. Yeah, so I don't know what happened that time, but it did work the next time. Okay. Anyone is stuck in this, need some help here? Correct. Yeah, if you're facing this, there are just two things that could happen. Either your uh, credits are not correctly applied, or you have asked too many questions and you'll have to wait for a minute or so to get the resource out of the resource exhaustion. Are we done with the step number 8? Is anyone still stuck here? Did you guys like this? I mean, what we have done till now. You know, we are talking to multi-agents, and depending on upon our question, it is deciding on itself or which agent to choose. And we're also now able to save some data in the agent, and we're also using that data. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so we'll go to step number 9. Now we are on to the next agent where we mentioned about the movie writing agent, right? It will have, I've already mentioned, right? Sequential agent, loop agent, and parallel agent. Uh, you can look through this, but it is all the things that I've just mentioned in my slide as well. So we'll go to the step number 10. Here, you will see first we are trying to build the sequential agent, wherein it is just doing the research, it will do a screenwriting, and it will have a file writer agent which will write the file. Okay. So even before we start with this one, first thing that we need to do is let's try to talk to the agent. So you come here, you do new session, and you select the workflow agent. Right? Everybody on this. So let's see. We say hello. Yeah. So I can help you write a movie for a hit, pitch for a hit movie. To get started, let's see what they are given, right? Uh, let's try this one. Historical figures. They are just writing any historical figure. Let me try some other historical figures. I say Kailash. This is one of the most like oldest temple. Uh, could you please provide the name? And okay, should I just put this one? Okay. Yeah, of course. So if you see, it has appended to state. And by the way, you can look how it is working here. So it goes to the researcher goes to the screenwriter. And by the way, researcher also has a Wikipedia too, wherein it searches for whatever we type on Wikipedia, gets back to us. goes to the screenwriter. The file writer eventually writes the file, and everybody has access to append to state so that each and every agent can utilize what the old agent has created. So if you look, at the state which you were just looking, so okay, it has appended and it also returned it to the file. Right? Yeah. So if you look at, this was the prompt that got saved. Then this is what the research agent came up with. Then it came out with the plot outline, what will be the plot of the movie, and eventually it wrote, right? So write to the file, wrote. Right? You'll see something code of the poet. Sorry, this was written, and this is a movie page. How do we look at this movie page? Um, if everybody can just come on my screen, I'll just show you. Uh, you will see something of this kind, right? New terminal. If you can open that, and yeah, you do ls here, you do cd to movie pitches, you will see this folder called as movie pitches. You can again do ls. In my case, it was, code of the poet.txt. In your case, it could be anything else. You can do nano code of the poet text, and you should be able to see, whatever uh, was generated, the log line, synopsis, a 3-act plot outline, act 1, act 2, act 3. So all these things, it has come up with itself and returned to this file. And you can see all this, right? It is transferring to agent one by one. Here, here, here. It's again go to Wikipedia to search for new things. Again transfer to the agent. Okay. So this is how it works. And eventually it comes up with this things. And it writes the file. Is this working for everyone? Is anyone stuck or needs some assistance? We wanted to repeat, I'll repeat it once. So once we come to step number 10, we are going to build a sequential agent. The agent will be a research agent which has a Wikipedia tool. We'll also look in the code how this tool is configured and all. And that eventually whatever research is done is given to the screenwriter. Screenwriter writes a proper um, three act um, script, which is act 1, act 2, act 3, and gives it to the file writer. The whole purpose of file writer is just to write it to a file. That's it. Let's see how the code looks like. So you can go ahead and close this old agent.py, and we can come to the workflow agents folder, and you can open this agent.py, right? Yeah. So if you look here, there is already an append to state which we had earlier, right? And then you have something called as write to file, which if you look at the code, it is just making a dir if it does not exist, and whatever content is passed to the function, it is writing on the file, right? And then you have something called as the file writer agent, which takes the plot outline. If you notice this, we have seen over here in the state, we have seen this, right? Plot outline. This is the exact variable that is used here, right? And of course, I mentioned about the question mark. So if it is empty, it will just not write anything, right? And it also has this tool called as write file, which is something we have mentioned over here. Then you have the screenwriter, uh, which has a big instruction of when what to do, all those things. And you have the researcher agent, where if you see, you also have a line chain tool called as Wikipedia query run. It is just something you need to import at the top. So it is freely available by line chain community. Um, There is one more way, which is Google Cloud. Sorry, not Google Cloud. Google Search tool that you can integrate. I have done that in one of my other uh, code, which is available on Twitter. Maybe I'll show you later. But that is also you can do. So instead of searching it on Wikipedia, it will actually search things on Google and get that response to you. Okay, so once that is done, at the end we have the sequential agent, right? The Flink concept agent, which has three sub-agents as we mentioned earlier, right? The researcher, the screenwriter, and the file writer. And we at the end have the root agent, who's who also have the append to state tools and just one sub-agent, which is the Flink concept team. That's it. So is the code clear till now? Are there any questions like code wise what we have done till here? Issues. Are we good till here? Till this part. Step number 10. Do you want me to repeat?
Yeah, maybe Vaibhav, you could just go through the code or whichever way you want to just iterate again that agent. Or
Only
the,
for this step, or
yeah, yeah. Ideally, just go through whatever you did right now, maybe once more very quickly. Not all the,
correct?
not from the start, just this sequential.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. So what we have built for the sequential agent, we have technically not did any code change. We just went ahead on this left hand side. We chose the workflow agent. Uh, we just put hello, and then it says, give me an historical figure. Let me try to put the Kailash again. I don't know why everything is not working on the first try. Because this all worked. It's not a historical figure. Okay, let me say uh, okay, now it's again saying it's a landmark. However, it's I need a historical person. Okay. Uh, Anyone wants to give some other example than this? Or should we use the same one? Anyway, whatever I've done till now is, we just put hello and we say a historical figure. And in this case, we chose Ada Lovelace. We can, let's try this one. And it will start writing the movie pitch about it. So that's all that we have done today. And if you see things like append to state a lot of place, at the state place you will see might take a bit time to load. So it's you can see Wikipedia is going to Wikipedia, it's coming back with responses. So this is what the Wikipedia came back with. Eventually everything will be saved in the state, but it might take a little time. Yeah, see if you see this researcher also says I have completed my research and then passes it over to the screenwriter. Yeah, so now screenwriter has taken up. Yeah, if you see in the state file, you can see all the things, the research that it has done, the plot outline that is created, all those things. And it has at the end, created the last facts.txt, which is saved just here. If you go to your ADK multi-agent folder, you will see something called as movie pitches. And inside that, you should see it. So let's say I do Alice, I see the last files.txt, and this is created. So this was a very simple sequential agent wherein, first research is done, then screenwriter, and then file writer. Okay. In the interest of time, I will move to the loop agent. We have two more agents to look at. So let's see what the loop agent does, right? It is quite similar, but we have now added something called as this critic as well. So researcher will again use the Wikipedia to do the research. It will again have the screenwriter to create a draft, but this time it will also have a critic which will offer some feedback on whatever we have given and will get back to the researcher. The researcher will take into consideration this feedback, do more research, give to screenwriter, all this will happen. Um, and we have something called as max iteration set to 5 so that we just don't go in an infinite loop. Okay, so to set this up, we'll have to add, edit few things, and we'll go ahead with that. So first thing that you do is copy this import called as exit loop. At the top, scroll to the very top, not very top, but you would see something like this. You can just paste it over here. So from Google ADK tools, import exit loop, right? So what we have done till now is just copy pasted this exit loop. Okay. Now there are a bunch of agents, right? The first agent is this critic agent that we are going to add as a new agent, and in the writer's room, this is like a loop agent that we are creating, right? Uh, that is also something we'll have to update. So let's see how we do one by one. The first thing you do is copy this critic agent, and where it mentions agents, right? So just above that, you can paste it. Just below that, sorry, you can paste the agent. Next thing that you do is, by the way, if you look at the code, what does the code do, right? It has instructions, does it meet the satisfying 3x cinema structure? It has a lot of things that a critic would have in mind while, looking at the movie pitch, right? And it also gets the research as the input, the plot or outline as the input, right? And it also has tool to append to state and exit loop. Exit loop, if the critic is happy with whatever it has received, it will directly go to exit loop. It will not even continue the iteration for let's say 2 or 3 times. In iterations, it is happy, it will directly go to the exit loop. Okay. Now we have something called as the writer's room. And if you see, it specifically mentions, paste the following code above the film concept team so that, all this is available. So copy this, make sure you search for something called as film concept team. Yeah, here. You please paste it over here, else you will find some issues. I will repeat again. You copy this agent, whatever new agent that we have created, here at the top where you see hashtag agent. Yeah, where you see hashtag agent, just below that you can copy the critic agent and the loop agent that we have just copied. Make sure to scroll down, see for film concept team, and just above that paste it over here. And if you notice, we have max iteration set to 5 so that it just doesn't keep on running forever. And after 5 iteration, no matter how happy or unhappy the critic agent is, it will exit out. Okay, and we need to update the film concept team. This is a sequential agent. You copy this, and where you see the film concept team, earlier, it was having like sub-agents called researcher, screenwriter, file writer. But we will remove this, paste it over here, and now it will have something called as the writer's room and the file writer. If you remember, file writer room was actually a loop agent. So how it will look like is this is the loop agent and then this is the file writer, right? And that is exactly visible in the Flip concept team, the writer's room and the file writer. And the writer's room now has the researcher, screen writer, and the critic. Are we good till here? So we have created a new agent, uh, created the loop agent, updated the writer's room. Sorry, film concept team. I'll just take a break for a sip of water. Okay, are we good till here? Are there any doubts or is someone stuck? Okay, how we converted the conceptual level. Sorry, I didn't get you, Roman.
No, it
Are
is
you
not a
referring to this?
question for you. It was just for everyone that you can always.
Okay,
Sometimes it's difficult to visualize from the code. So we
correct,
just want that you go back to the diagram and probably one by one, if you want, add things. So we didn't reach this also just overnight. It was kind of worked and then we worked backwards to create the diagram. But yeah, you could go either way. Yeah. So sometimes
correct,
just visualizing it of how it, or I if you give the source code itself, it gets a bit difficult till you actually see it work. Yeah.
correct. So maybe I'll start this and we'll also look at the diagram. So if you look, this is a sequential agent. In that we have one loop agent which is the writer's loop, and we have a file writer agent whose job is only to write the file. And I'm assuming everybody has updated all these things. Now we make sure that you restart your server. So you come here, just do Control C. It will stop the server, and then you again do ADK web and make sure you create a new session with the workflow agent. And it now says give more broader topics this time. So let's say I put this one. Yeah, you can see it started. I will create a new session, workflow agent. Let me try. Industrial designer will make products for the masses, right? Okay. I was afraid this error would come. If you also get this error, uh, I have mentioned here uh, the original doc that I had shared. Right? If you get this error, just refresh the whole Google Cloud Console because if we are inactive here for a long period of time, it just throws us out. Right? So I'll just refresh the whole page. First, we need to do source. Right? And then I do ADK web. If you see this kind of error, please do the same that I did just. It is just because we were idle for a long period of time, and it has thrown us out of the session. That's it. Okay, so let's do again. Yeah, it is now working. It will now do its research. Yeah, it has gone to Wikipedia. It is appending things to the state. Yeah, it has chosen Walter Norman industrial design consultancy. Yeah. Lot of things. Now it has gone to the screenwriter. And again, such if you notice, we are in a loop, right? And this is the final critic. So if you see, the critic mentions the plot outline does an excellent job with the requested criteria, all those things it has mentioned. Therefore, no significant improvement needed. I'm not sure if it did 5 times here, uh, but in any case, it is happy with the plot outline that was created. Yeah, and it has gone to the exit loop. Here is the movie title suggestion, designed for all, and it has also written this movie script designed for all. So if you notice, right, it was just talking to itself for a long time and eventually came up with a good plan for the movie and wrote it down. That's it. Um, let's so it has written this movie, Act One, Act Two, Act Three, and that's about it in here, right? Are there any questions here? And if it says researchers, screenwriter, critic, researchers, screenwriter, it's gone there multiple times. If you want, we can try again for a new set of a question till everybody's trying.
Vaibhav, there's one question which you could take at some point once you're done with the lab, which is highlighted by Nicholas around with all these agents, right? I mean, how do you manage the usage and costs? Any, yeah. But you can take it up later. Yeah.
So I'll just try to finish this 12 step and then I can take it up. Uh, are we good with this step? Is anyone stuck with this one? Okay. See few thumbs ups. Okay. A lot of thumbs. Okay. I think everybody has now understood what we have done here. Just to recap, there is a sequential agent which we called as a film concept team. Then we have a loop agent, which is we are calling it as a meters loop, wherein we have a research agent which uses the Wikipedia tool to do the research. There is a screenwriter agent which writes this whatever the research is done in a proper format on all those things. And critics offers feedback on whatever the draft is written, and this is how the loop continues. When the critic is happy, it will decide to exit the loop, which we just saw, and it will give to the file writer, where the file writer will decide to write this file to the local. Okay, now we'll move to the last part of it, which is the parallelization, wherein if you notice this part and this part is exactly the same, right? We have the film concept team, we have the writer's room, we have the file writer. Only thing that is added is the pre-production team, which are parallel agents. So here we decide, okay, the box office research and the casting agent, this they will work both in parallel and will come back and eventually save everything to the file writer. So let's see how do we set this up. So again, we'll go to this copy here. You have two new agents, right? The box office research agent and the casting agent. So make sure to copy it below the hashtag agent. So you do copy, you scroll to the top where you will see, yeah, you will see hashtag agents. You paste it over here. Okay. So once you have pasted this, uh, now we'll also have to update the film concept team, right? Because earlier it was just writer's room and file writer. We now also need the pre-production team. Where is this pre-production team? It is actually created here. So we added a box office researcher, casting agent, and then a parallel agent. We named it as a pre-production team and only gave two sub-agents, box office research and the casting agent. Right? We copy this flip concept team and we replace like we did earlier as well. Uh, flip concept. So we see the flip concept. We paste it over here. That's it. All we have all we have done is writer's room, pre-production team, and the file writer, which is exactly as we can see over here, right? And we have also updated the instructions in the file writer because we don't want only the plot outline to be written this time, right? We also want the box office report and the casting report to be written. So we'll copy that and we'll go to the file writer uh, agent and we'll update the complete instruction. So if you notice, we are copying from instructions is equal to. So we'll look for the file writer. Right? So file writer. Yeah, you will see it around 140 line. You choose the complete instruction and paste it. That's it. We have just updated the instructions on the file writer agent. You can read through this to have a better understanding what we are doing. But basically, what it says is until and unless you don't have the box office report and casting report, don't just write. That's all. Okay. Uh, are we done till here? Do you want me to repeat? Okay. So let me get back to this. I will have to restart the server. So I just did Control C to stop the server. I'll do clear and I'll do ADK web. And let's use the exact form. This time, let's do this. The actors who invented the technology for life. Okay. So I'll refresh this page. I have a new session and I put this. So what you should see now is the exact same thing that happened earlier, wherein we were having a loop, a writer's room, where it was in loop. And after this is done, it will go to the parallel agent, and we can see both of them working in parallel. And eventually, this gets written to the file writer, and we'll open the file and see, what it has written. By the way, you can look at the left-hand side as well. This is how it actually looks like, right? So a greeter is a writer's room, the pre-production team, the film concept team. So greeter, you also have the researcher inside the writer's room, right? And it has screenwriter, critic, and critic can again go back to the researcher, and we have exit loop. And then there are the parallel agents, the casting agent and the box office research. Eventually, the pre-production team will give the call to file writer, which will write the file. And it can, this looks a bit complex, but it is not that complex. I was also mentioning about this. So this is one of the GitHub that I had created, which is a AI blog writer, which essentially writes blogs for you. And it can go as complex as this one. If you see, it's so big that it's not even funny. Maybe I'll go it this way. So you have the blog orchestrator. It has a research agent. Uh, we also have some tools like save blog to topics, plan the blog series, analyze the blog request. Then you have content writer agent, whose complete job is you create catchy titles, create engaging introduction, write section. All these tools are there, and you can look at all this code on this AI blog writer and use it for free as well. We also have a SEO agent who optimizes for the SEO and suggest content enhancement, all those things that you would want while writing a blog. So it can go. These are just the things top of my head which I could build, but you can go even deeper and build much more things. So if you want, might be helpful. Let's see if it has completed. Yeah, as you can see, the critic has come back saying, the plot line successfully meets the criteria, all these things. And this is what it has come up with. Uh, Eddie Lamar. Uh, so for this, it has given, and if you scroll down, you see there's a casting agent. So casting agent has decided for, this, we will go with Anna de Arms or maybe with Lily James. For older and later years, we can go with this casting. Uh, I mean, you can read through it and think of what uh, it has thought about while generating this cast. Uh, and then the casting agent only, you should also see the so you should also see the box office research. Here it has done all the box office research based on the plot outline, what are the comparable films like Hidden Figures, Imitation Game, Oppenheimer, all those things, and eventually come up with compelling true story of Freddie Lamar dual identity as a glamorous Hollywood star from Waking Up Winter. So it has done that. It has also come back with challenges and risks, a conclusion, and eventually given to the file writer, which it has written something called as the hidden frequency. In your case, it might be different or same. Let's look at that file. Yeah. So if you look, this it was writing earlier as well, right? The Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. But this time it also, box office potential report, log line, comparable film analysis, box office potential analysis, and then also conclusion. And then it has gone ahead with the uh, casting. Here are some casting ideas, and given when the the main person is younger and when it is older in the film, who you could hire, all those things. Essentially, what we have done is, we are able to run two parallel agents, and just since they are not dependent on each other, they can do their own research, get back together, and eventually write to the file. We could also think of writing it to the state and then eventually using it further. Uh, there are endless possibilities actually.